They have pretty much nothing, no tissues, no organs, no germ layers, right? You see all those big openings that are the ostia where the water comes out, they're filter feeders, okay, sponges. Okay, then next phylum Cnidaria, we have anemones. That white one is an anemone. We have those little strawberry lilies that are anemones, these guys here. There are more anemones here. I can stick my finger in. Best way to look at it is look through the side. Okay, then you see it really good. So right now they shoot their nematocysts into my skin and I'm almost dying. Right? But so, well, I feel it, but it doesn't hurt really. Right? So, well, they don't have much toxins, right, these guys. But so they attach to my finger, right? And so that's how they trap food, particles, prey, right? Or maybe how they defend themselves or anchor themselves as well. So anemones, smallest group.
Smallest group is the anemones?
Well, that's a common name, right? Entozoa. Entozoa. The hydrozoa, the ones that we look at, hydra does not live in the tank because it's fresh water. We have corals at the GSI bench. There would also be entozoa. I'm sure there are corals in here, but maybe attached to the rocks and broken off. They're not obvious. So what's really obvious in here are anemones, okay? And corals we see at the GSI bench on display rather big, okay?
Is this an anemone?
This is an anemone, it's a big one. Yeah, it's an anemone. Then we have Scyphozoa, the jellies at the GSI bench. No living ones in the tank, okay? But you saw the picture, jellies, jellyfish, Scyphozoa. No Cupozoa, the cube jellyfish. Okay, and that's it for the Cnidarian, that's right. So Platyhelminthes we do not have in the tank because Lugesia is freshwater, right? And the cestos and trematodes are parasitic, so no Platyhelminthes in the tank makes it easy. And then we have annelids. So they're tube worms, and you see one in the beaker where the clam is. That's a tube of a feather duster. There's another tube of a feather duster. And you see if I go to the tip, that they take in their feeding appendages.
Ooh.
Right? So there's a tube worm living in it. The smallest group, polychaetes. They have parapodia, closed circulatory system, red blood cell, no, hemoglobin. Hemoglobin dissolved in the serum in these guys. So hemoglobin, but no red blood cells, hemoglobin. And a serum, okay? So that's the tube of a feather duster worm. And the little booklet distinguishes between sabellite worms and serpulid worms.
What booklet is this?
Polychaetes group in two groups, or more, but two that are mentioned there are sabellite worms. Sabellite that are the feather duster worms. And they have a soft tube, so it's made out of proteins and sand.
So they make their own tube?
They make their own tube, and that's a soft tube. Right? And then we have serpulid worms, and they make a tube that is calcified. So this is a tube of a fan worm. Okay. What I know is that it can close the opening so they can live higher up in the tidal zone to prevent desiccation. Right. This is a fan worm classified as a serpulid worm.
So if you like cut the shell off of it, could the worm?
Then it looks like this one here. So there's a preserved feather duster worm, right? There's a tube. You see it's made out of protein with corns of sand, right? But so this is the feather duster worm. Has parapodia, has feeding appendages to take up oxygen as well, okay? And that lives within that tank, within the tube. Okay, then we have another polychaete, that is this guy here. It's called Nereis, a polychaete. It's an annelid worm. You see all those little appendages, they're called parapodia, these guys, right? Parapodia, feeding appendages, they also use them for locomotion.
What is this called?
Nereis. The feeding appendages are parapodia. So parapodia are specific for polychaetes. Okay? We don't have any Diodinias in here, no leeches, right? We're going to add feeding them for the leeches later on. And then we have the mollusks. So for the mollusks, we have the chitin, polyplacophorn, and I show it if you guys see it too. Right, so 8-segmented shell. There's the chitin here. Chitin. They have a radula, they scrape over the rocks, right, and eat algae and plant material. Chitin, polyplacophores, 8-segmented shell, metamerism, right, repetition of structures. And then that's it for the polyplacophores. Then we have gastropods, and so these guys are called limpets. There's a shell of a limpet, looks like a volcano, limpet. It's a gastropod. Those guys live also on the rocky zone of the tidal zone, and they keep the rocks clean because they work like a snowplow. They can dislodge everything. Okay, they have a radula as well. So more limpets, right? And that's it for this part. I put it back. Then we have abalones. It's a gastropod. This is what the locals use as a currency. Abalones, a gastropod. So they live also in here. There's an abalone shell. We have snails in here. Okay, and we have whelks. So it looks like a snail, but their torsion is more three-dimensional. That's a whelk. And we have a whelk, for example, here living in that shell of a scallop. So there's a whelk. Okay, and these guys, if I take it out, they can close that opening. See how that opening closes now? So they turn. They can see that lid, what they close down. So that brown little lid, what they can close, that prevents that they desiccate, so they can also live kind of higher in the tidal zone. They're kind of nasty because they have a modified radula that they can use to drill through other animals. For example, crustaceans, so they drill a hole in them and they use digestive enzymes and sucks them out. Yeah, it's surviving of the fittest. It's rather rude in here. Okay, so that's also a whelk. It's a whelk. And then we have bivalves. So there's a clam, siphon is sticking out. The dorsal side is here, that's where the hinge is and the umbo. Right? Hinge, umbo. This is the oldest part of the shell, dorsal, and ventral is on the other side down here. Right? The siphon sticks out and the foot sticks out on the anterior side. Okay, so the clam is here. Then we have scallops. The scallop has one big adductor muscle scar. Right, so the adductor muscle is what one would normally eat if one eats scallops. And we have mussels in here. There are these guys, mussels. They have little string-like structures here called bristle strings, what they use to attach to the substrate. So mussels, scallops, clam. And normally we also have oysters, but not in this one here. But on the booklet there is some oyster. So that would be an example for bivalves. No cephalopods. Living ones in the tank, we only have preserved ones over there. Okay? So octopus, there's a cuttlefish, squid, and okay? So look at that.